What's up? We're back.
Yes, welcome to That Couple Podcast. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm one of your hosts, Kimberly Gums, and this is...
It's your boy Cleeton Gums, a.k.a. Cleet the Geek.
Yes, and you know, we are that couple, right?
Yeah,
and
we're that couple. That's right.
Basically on this podcast, we talk about all things marriage, all things parent life, just overall family life. We love to, you know, go deep dives into Disney, into the MCU, into some rom-coms, and into some of the movies and shows that we love to watch because we're that couple. And guess what? We're not only that couple, but you know what? Y'all are that couple too.
Because y'all vibe with us, y'all that couple. So appreciate y'all showing up today.
That's right. So anywho, just a few housekeeping things, okay? Before we, get into this episode, once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. I always say y'all didn't have to, but you did.
Yes.
So we appreciate it so much. Be sure you following us on Apple and Google Podcasts. Find us on YouTube. Find us on Spotify and on all social media platforms, or I should say all major platforms. You can find our podcast, That Couple.
That's right. That's right. Hey, go ahead, talk amongst yourselves. Let me turn my notifications off.
Okay, yes, his notifications. Let me tell y'all something, okay? I don't know if y'all husbands or, spouses, wives, if y'all husbands, if y'all wives, are like gadget people. My husband is a gadget guy. I call him a gadget geek, right? So he has like a whole command center. So like all his devices are like giving off these bing, bong, bing, ding, 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 like all these notifications or whatever.
Just means I'm important, okay?
Right.
Nah, it's just a lot of sounds.
Yes.
It's going to disturb me the whole way. Like,
I know. I was about to say, I was like, are you going to... I was like, I knew it was probably going to bother you.
Yeah. So I muted it. Okay. So we good to go. So what we got today? What's going on today? We're consistent. You see this. It's 2 weeks, y'all.
Week 2.
Come on. Hey, come on. We trying to stay consistent.
That's right.
Shout out to whoever walked up to us and just congratulated us and encouraged us to keep going.
Yes.
Shout out to my guy Mark Eason.
Yes,
Big
Mark. It was him.
Yeah. He was encouraging us to get back on it.
He said, I saw what you did.
Yeah. So shout out to him, and I know he has some content coming out, so y'all look out for him.
Yes.
Whenever he does release that, we'll put it in one of our descriptions of our shows. So shout out to him, big shout out to him and his wife. And yeah, we 2 weeks in, y'all. 2 weeks.
Come on. For the new year, 2023.
Okay. So what we got today?
Anywho, Clee, how was your past week?
It was good.
Why the long sigh?
we had some really high highs, and then we had some low lows. Okay?
Which one was the low?
I'm talking about flag football.
Oh, okay. Well, you can get that into the kids update.
You said my week.
Okay. Well, outside of that.
Okay.
Because that is like
that was a big part of my week.
That's part of the kid. Yes.
That was a big part of my week.
Towards the end of the week, but with you personally.
Personally, not much. Let's face it. We live for our kids right now, okay?
Speak for yourself. No, I'm
just playing. No, but let me see. For me, nothing major. I'm sorry. I mean, listen, we went to the championship, all right? That was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. We had like 4 practices. It was a busy week, okay? It was a busy week, so that was pretty much all of my attention last week. Of course, we got some entrepreneurial endeavors we're working on.
Right.
So more to come with that.
You did, yeah. You were working with that.
Yeah. So we get into new spaces. There's a saying, right, that every millionaire should have 7 or 8 streams of income. Mm-hmm. So Kimberly and I, we're working on building some streams.
That's right.
Obviously, podcasting is one. And,
that's right.
And
subscribe, like, review, comment.
We've if you followed us in the past, we had our marketing strategy show that we did for a whole year and some change under Strategy Geek. So that's our web design business. That's still going, right? That hasn't gone anywhere. We just doesn't do that type of content anymore. Mm-hmm. So anyway, not gonna name all the streams, but just working on streams. So we did start one of the newer streams, and got plugged into that. Got some training going last week. So that's probably on a personal tip. That's what I had going on. How about yourself?
Got you. For me, it was overall, it was a great week. Last week was my first week back to working out, and I say back to working out because I took a big break. This break consisted of
several years.
Several years. But anywho, hey,
you back.
I'm back on there. I'm back on the train, getting it going. And for right now, I've decided to do like Monday through Friday, and I want the weekends rest. So that's what I've been sticking to now.
Yeah, I went the whole week rest.
You did, but that's okay.
No, I like that plan.
Just stay.
Yeah.
Okay, stay on rest.
I know. He accepts me as I am.
We'll see how that goes. But anywho, so this week was week 2, and I started off, real strong. One thing that I'm working on though is just still, working on my getting up routine.
That's the tough part.
So that is one area. But outside of that, I know today I didn't necessarily. Today was kind of thrown off, but not thrown off because I didn't work out this morning. I do plan to work out later today, but we had our annual physicals with our family doctor today.
Fellas,
so and women, okay, yes. Outside of your women's, your OBGYN annuals, you have your like whole body like annual physical with your primary doctor. Those are important. So,
it was good.
Look, we had our complete blood work done. Oh, wow.
Hey,
I'm just joking.
Be on here,
yeah, so we had our, blood work done and our physical. So, yeah, make sure. And especially like, in our community, the Black community, I know a lot of the people in our community don't like going to the doctor or prolong going to the doctor. Let's not do that, okay? Let's break those generational curses.
Right.
And let's get to the doctor to prevent some of these things.
And we did have a good discussion because our doctor he's really good. He's really
and
good. And
he's hilarious.
But when I tell you this guy can literally be a stand-up comedian, like he's funny.
He is.
I mean, we're in there, we're laughing, we're having a good time. And we leave and Kim like, how do you like him? I'm like, well, I think he's very knowledgeable. He knows everything about what we need. But he has such a laid back personality that I wouldn't be like, okay, he's going to remember every detail about my health, my chart, right? Or my health situation. So we had this really good discussion. And then we may even do a podcast on this, in the future, where we,
it's like your glasses. What are they talking about? By the way, y'all, see Gadget. I was talking about Gadget Guy. I don't know if he has shown you all, but come on, show the people.
They can't see it.
I will bring it up for you.
No, man, you gonna mess up the
look. Y'all look at these. Look at these. Look.
Yeah, show the bottom with the light so you can see the light on it.
What?
Turn it the other way.
Oh.
And then flip it up. There you go. Yeah, I see the light. Well, they're the echo frames, and I can listen to music, and I can take phone calls and notifications from my phone.
From his glasses, y'all. So he has his morning sports podcast or radio show that he listens to every single morning.
Shout out to Starting Lineup on Sirius Radio.
Yeah, so he listens to them and you can hear them.
Yeah. I mean, I got my routine, right? We get the kids going, so I need to get my sports radio, my NBA going. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I didn't say nothing wrong with that. I just happened to hear it talk, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah, I tried to discreetly mute it while I was continuing my point. But the point I was making, which I seem to have forgotten, I think.
The doctor.
Knowing our stuff, right? So we wouldn't necessarily trust him to be detailed to know our medical situation. So we had this whole discussion in the car right back here about knowing, so I'm in marketing, right? I'm a web designer by trade. And I've always been a part of marketing department. So in marketing, business, term KPI is very common, right? So a lot of you might be familiar with that. That's just a fancy phrase for your goals, right? Or your metrics, your numbers, right? Whatever your job is, you have certain metrics, goals, numbers that you have to meet in order to be efficient at your job, to get, promotions or whatever have you, right? So I was using that term in regards to your body, knowing your body KPIs, right? We all have iron, calcium, right? Cholesterol, all of these things. So we can't expect a doctor to be able to own our KPIs for us, right?
Right.
We have to be over our KPIs when we go to the doctor, because when we went there, he's like, what do you got going on? He's expecting us to be on top of our health and know what our ailments are and what our issues are. He's not going to look at last year and say, okay, you did this last year, so I need to do this for you this year, right? He's going to go off of what we're saying. So, as you know, if you don't, so I'm bringing out all that up to say, if you don't go yearly, right, you don't really have a baseline of where you are health wise, and it helps, and it stops you from preventing things from happening later in life, right? Having high cholesterol, having high blood pressure, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not talking like I got it all figured out. It just makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, moving forward, this is something I'm going to be conscious of. It's like, okay, let me make sure I know what my baseline is, and then I can, supplement it, right? So I can take, if I have low iron, I can take iron supplements and so on and so forth, right? So it helps you to just be more cognitive of your of your health picture, right? Your profile. And then when you go see your doctor, he's just supporting that, using his knowledge or her knowledge to get you where you need to be. So that was good. That was a good conversation we had, and I don't think that happens enough. I think we just kind of go about our lives, and then something goes bad, and then you're like, oh shoot, I got to try to fix it. Well, same thing with a car, right? You got to get that oil changed.
Got to get that maintenance.
Yeah, you got to get that maintenance. If you don't do
unless it breaks down,
that car's just gonna break down. Well, the breakdowns happen when the maintenance is
not addressed. So.
Anyway,
I got you.
A little spill.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Hope y'all are too.
So anywho, so that's what we just did this morning. And then as far as the kids, Paris, she had a great week. Took her to all her dance classes, and then as far as Aiden, his team, played in the playoffs on Saturday, and so they won their first game 24-0, and then they made it to the championship game. They lost it, but they still played good, because the team they played in the championship game was undefeated, and they're really good, because the team they played also plays tackle, so they already
and these kids
have some advanced skills already.
Yeah.
So
these kids have been together. Well, all the kids that are in this age group are between the ages of 8 and 10.
Right.
These kids, the team that we lost to, they've been playing together since 6 years old. So they have experience, they have chemistry, they have all of those things, right? And they are dominating the league. They're beating teams by 46, 47-0, 2 games they beat teams like that. We played them 3 times. This was the 3rd time.
Right.
The first 2 times they beat us 21-0. It was 21. Yeah, 21-0. But they worked for it. Our defense stepped up. Our boys played, even though they were terrified. So anyway, we got them ready for this week, right?
It was so cute. Let me just tell them one of the ways they got them ready. They had him and my brother-in-law had our boys watch The Little Giants. It was too cute. They were like,
they were cracking up.
They were cracking up so much.
And somebody was saying, rehearsing all the lines. I'm like, how many times did you watch? My brother-in-law.
Can I see your phone real quick? Let me just, because you didn't put it on the. So there you go.
All right.
Him and his. The sounds.
This dude over here, we watched that movie's 30 years old? Over 30
It came out
old.
1994-ish.
94, yeah. So
yeah.
It's over 30 years old. This dude rehearsing all the lines. I'm like, dude, are the kids watching it or you? You know what I mean? Shout out to Dub. But anyway.
That's so funny.
We had them watch that, right? We was getting into the mental, their cranium right. We're trying to get their mental right. We're trying to get them physically right. We practiced, like I said earlier, 4 times last week. And I'm so proud of them. They showed up. They fought hard. We lost by a touchdown. It was, the end score was 26-18. So we would have needed to get a touchdown and then an extra point to tie it. And listen, we had this one play, quarterback put it over the top. The kid had it in the tip of his hands, and he dropped the ball. And that was it. We didn't have any more time after that. So It was a little heartbreaking, but we were proud because we made it to the championship. We hadn't gotten that far.
Yes, they did so good.
I mean, you talk about a year ago, we played a season, we didn't win a game.
It's the progress for me, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, they didn't win the game, but it's like it just shows the progress from whence they came.
Come on.
My God.
We were literally, we didn't win a game. Okay.
And then, their first season. Yes. It was like, so I need to run that way. Okay.
Yeah. Right. It was like, that's the touchdown.
Yeah.
Oh, which one is offense and defense? Right. So
exactly.
We've had kids like that, right?
Yes.
The Giants.
Some of the one kid was like, "So, do we need to get a home run next?"
He's like, "If we get a home run, can we have a pizza party?" I'm
yes.
Like, wow.
Wrong sport. Okay.
Wow.
So that's why I said it's the growth, it's the progression for me. You know.
So we're really.
I'm happy for them.
We did good. We're gonna have a celebration.
Yes.
This week with the kids, and we actually got invited to the area tournament.
Yes, the regional.
The regional, because we're the top 2 teams in our league, so
that's
we get to represent our league in the regional tournament. It's going to be in another week or so. So look forward to that.
Yes.
Hey, something we started just because we want to support our boys, and we really like it. I could see myself doing this in retirement.
I can see you.
Yeah. Because, listen, that's a whole nother podcast, like how to handle your retirement, because you got to stay active. Like
that part.
We're seeing that firsthand with our family. So anyway, not to get sidetracked.
No, you're on track.
I'm on track?
Yes, you're on track, baby.
What is it? I'm
in the community?
No, well, that's one. This is another one.
From who? Who says it? Because
No, it was something else we watched. It's from Ant-Man, but
oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the Spanish guy.
I'm not picking up what you're putting down.
He was like, "I'm in the thing." It's something like that. Y'all would know. Please comment if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm in the first Ant-Man.
Yeah, the first Ant-Man. Remember, he was like, "Wait, I'm in the group."
Yeah, I'm in the group or something like that. Yeah. Yes.
You get it.
Yes.
Thank you. Ooh.
That's okay. I got you, baby.
All right.
Anywho, main topic for today, right?
You forgot about Paris dance. Anything?
I said that.
What'd you say?
You didn't hear nothing I just said.
I was heartbroken. Okay, we went out to eat afterwards. I was going through it.
Before we went into eating, I was like, Paris had a great week, and I said, we took her to her dance classes.
I was probably getting distracted
with the phones dinging.
Yeah, because when I hear the sound, I'm like, okay, how can I turn this off? In my head, even though it look like I'm listening.
Yeah.
Fellas, you know what I mean. All right. So.
Anywho, so main topic today, right? So I keep up with like pop culture and everything, especially because.
Me too.
I'm not saying you're not keeping up, but I like to keep up on pop culture, especially like I'm into housewives, reality shows, and whatever have you, and also celebrities too. If I could have, I would have been like an E-News anchor or something like that.
An E-News anchor. What? Why
it was just the way you were looking. I thought you weren't paying attention.
I'm totally paying attention. Always.
Right. He wasn't.
Listen, let me tell y'all something. Why do you, when you want to do something, all of a sudden you're the most important person in the earth? Like everyone needs to talk to you all of a sudden. We just had all this time. We're like, we're gonna get ready for this show. We're gonna do this. The moment I start the show, hey, Clint, did you see this? Hey. It's like, oh my gosh. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting blown up by several people at one time. I'm trying to manage it and give you guys amazing content. But I was paying attention.
With the eyes. Anywho, I was saying that if I could have went the E-News anchor route because I keep up with I know the goings on with the celebrities.
You don't like the mess though.
Huh?
E-News, it brings messy stories. So
they're not necessarily messy
but they have the juicy stories.
It's not
they're not like
they're just reporting. Yeah, they're not like a TMZ per se.
Yeah, but
it's a difference in where they're like.
But could you have seen yourself reporting on someone? Oh, this person getting divorced. That person getting divorced. You don't really like to talk about that stuff.
No, I'm like a positive type person.
That's
but
what I'm saying. You're more like.
You know what I'm trying to say.
You could have went that route.
You
have the skill sets. She has the skill sets.
Yeah. So like yesterday it was like a whole thing, right? If you watch have watched Real Housewives of Atlanta or America's Next Top Model, you know that Eva Marcel, right? She was on America's Next Top Model and Real Housewives of Atlanta. She filed for a divorce. So like that was a whole big thing on these in the social media streets on yesterday. Her and her husband Michael Sterling, she filed for a divorce. They were married for 5 years.
That's the lawyer, right?
Yeah, he's a lawyer. Yeah. And everybody's like, what? Like, you know, it's like, I mean, with celebrities, you don't really expect them to be together for a long time. I mean, some of them are, but you know,
it's rare.
It's rare. But for them, it was like, dang, like, what are they? And like, what was going on? What was going on, or whatever?
Like it was good because she's on Ricky Smiley's show.
Right. And, the morning show.
The morning show. So from time to time, I listen to it, and she always references him like in a good light. So
right.
That was surprising.
Right. And then this morning, I saw that Backstreet Boys, AJ McLean and his wife divorced, and they've been together for 12 years. I mean, a couple earlier this month, I don't know if it was this month or last month in February, but another housewife from Atlanta, Drew Sidora, and her husband, Ralph, they both filed to divorce. They raced to the court to file divorce. Like, he was planning on, like, to file for divorce on a certain day, but she beat him to the courthouse that day and filed like an hour before he did, or whatever have you. Let me see. I wrote some down. Who else? I think those were the main ones this year. And, you know, last year it was Tia and her husband, Tom Brady and his wife, Giselle. Yeah. And then it was somebody else. Who else did you say?
Because you were like, that's too long ago. Who was it? So I forgot.
You did say somebody else, like, babe, no.
It wasn't years.
We talking about within the last year. Oh, Cynthia Bailey, she's another housewife, right? Cynthia Bailey and her husband, they were only married for like 2 years or so, like that. But anywho, I'm like, all these like celebrity divorces, I'm like.
So what do you think? Why do you think most of Oh, actually, it's a good segue for, you want to play that clip?
Before we get into our thoughts.
That clip will set the stage on kind of how we think about it as well. You know, I think.
Right. So this is a clip from her name is Love McPherson. She is a relationship expert, and she had a like a session, not a session, but like a
interview.
An interview with Dr. Arisha. Dr. Arisha is a pastor out of Houston, Texas at New Light Church. And they both had an interview together, and they touched on this topic of the truth about sacrifice, mainly in marriage. So we're going to play that clip, and then we'll talk about it.
Of the matter is, yes, sex can be very fulfilling. Sex can be very enjoyable. But the way the movies create sex, as this is how it always is a lie.
Yeah.
It is a lie. Yeah. There is, and we don't talk about the realities. We think that every time once you have sex, you just want it, you craving it. Really, it doesn't have to be all about, I just have a desire for something. Otherwise, I can't do something because I don't have a desire to work sometime, but I have to do it. Your husband may not even have a desire to take you out for your birthday on that date. He would desire to stay at home and watch the game, but his obligation. He knows what you expect, so he makes the sacrifice. So is that considered kidnapping? Just like you would consider your sacrifice rape or something like that? No, is that kidnapping? Is the fact that he pays the mortgage himself, but he would rather go and buy an expensive item or something? Is that you just robbed him? You understand? This real. Let's keep this marriage thing real, y'all. Yeah. It is about without sacrifice. If you don't have a servant's heart, if you don't have a heart of sacrifice, don't get married. Stay single and do your thing, like Paul said. Some of y'all just do y'all happy and don't even know it. You happy and don't even know it. Okay? And so go be great single, but don't get into an institution that requires certain things. Like if you a firefighter, guess what? You're going to be expected maybe to even sleep overnight, be away from your household, all this other kind of stuff. And I don't want to sleep away from my wife. Don't be a firefighter then. I don't want to be out there on the dangerous street. Don't be a police then. I don't want to sacrifice. Don't be a wife then. Don't be a husband then. The truth of the matter is.
That's good. That's
so, yeah.
Good. Wow. I forgot that ending. I mean, and I could tell y'all firsthand about the firefighter thing, okay? I came to terms with that. Make a long story short.
Oh, my gosh. He learned real quick.
Yeah, my dad's a firefighter, retired firefighter, and so is her dad.
Yes.
Surprisingly, you know.
I know.
In West Palm Beach, and my dad was in South Florida.
In Miami.
So I was like, hey, this makes sense. Her dad's one, my dad's one. I could just fall right into it. You know, work 24 hours, have 48 hours off?
Yeah, 48 hours off, 24 hours off.
Yeah, you know, and man, you know, that's the life. I saw my dad do it, you know, majority of my life. Well, got to this training and I realized, they want me to run it to the building. Okay.
Into this building filled of smoke.
Yeah, and we started doing some of those drills. Man, and make a long story short, I quit. Yeah. There's not a lot of stuff I did.
He quit during one of the exercises, y'all.
But I quit, like big time quit. Like, I ain't seen him no more quit, right? But to her point, right, I realized I'm not willing to sacrifice myself like that. So I got out of it, you know? And I had spent money to get the training. I became a certified MT. Got to the fire school, was 1 month away from graduating, and said, no. I am not really. Y'all really, really want me to sacrifice. I thought it was just like, sometimes there's fires every once in a while, and we might show up, spray some water from the outside.
Not to spray the water from the outside.
You want me to go in and grab somebody?
You got to save the people.
Oh, man, look. I was going to save them with water. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
This guy.
So that's a great point, right?
Right.
And we heard that. I don't know when we heard it. We heard that, and that was awesome. And we watching Married at First Sight. So it's a running theme that Kim and I are realizing with this show, and we're kind of jumping ahead to the entertainment part a little bit, but it's for this whole main topic, right? We're noticing that they're entering into this Married at First Sight scenario, this situation, thinking about
an
exit point, right? I got 8 weeks, and then at the end of the 8 weeks, that's my exit. And they're so hyper focused on that. They're not really understanding the true institution of marriage, which is what she describes very, very eloquently, that it is solely based in sacrifice.
Right.
Like you're coming into the scenario understanding that here's the things that I want, but then there's going to be a lot that I've got to be willing to sacrifice if I'm going to have this last a distance.
Because you're in a relationship with a person, like it's not all about you anymore.
Yeah, right.
You know, sort of like if you're a parent, once you become a parent, like it's not just about you. Yes, you take care, self-care, take care of yourself, but you have this person that you're responsible for, that you made the intelligent decision to have. Yeah. So,
Yeah, so I think watching that show and from this lens of sacrifice, it's like, look, they're not willing. They don't really want it.
Right.
They're saying all the right things. They're filling out the profile. They're going through all the emotion, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like when it's time for them to sacrifice, where are you going to stay? Can I have my dog?
The first hurdle or barrier.
Yeah, they're like, this person.
I'm out.
And they try to put it on the other person. It's like, well, I don't know if I'm going to like. It's like, well, if you didn't understand from the get-go that this is going to require sacrifice,
right,
then you're not even ready to do the show, ready to do the thing. So that's how you know it's kind of
like just stay single.
Yeah. So now segueing to these celebrities and just marriage in general. I mean, you see that running theme with the with celebrities, particularly. We've talked about this throughout the years with actors, right?
Yeah.
So those actors that fall in love.
On set,
right?
With the characters.
They have a script.
Yeah.
Right? So they're scripted. Their relationship is scripted, and it has structure.
Right.
It has kind of guide of how it's going to ebb and flow.
Right.
So they act that out, and they actually start catching emotions for each other. Right. They start wanting to get in a relationship, and they take that, and now they get into
a real life.
But then that script dwindles away. And then they end up getting divorced,
what
right?
are we doing?
So it's like when you see celebrities get married and stuff, or particularly actors, you're like, it's not going to last. Well, it's one of those things that you look at from a marriage standpoint. It's like, well, if you had a script for these characters, why not get the same script for your marriage if you wanted to keep going, right? There has to be some kind of moral, we call it what we call our thing, the...
core values.
Core values, mm-hmm. Right. You got to have a core values or a moral... foundation that you say, okay, these are the things that we are establishing this institution, this togetherness on, right?
Right.
So then when we're getting off, it's like, look, this is what we agreed upon at the beginning, right? People say these vows all the time and stuff, and it sounds flowery and beautiful, but it's like, okay, that was just for the marriage thing. It sounded good, but it's like if you really script your marriage off that, like I said, and anytime we talk about these things, we're just talking from our experiences. We're not acting like we're experts. We're not acting like we're
experts for us.
Yeah. No, we know how we do our thing, right? We're not trying to act like we're here and they're there in no kind of way. We just can only give our life experiences and what's worked for us.
And I was going to say, and this is not to say, if someone is cheating on you and constantly cheating on you or abusing you, where it's mental abuse, physical abuse, we're not talking about that. That's toxic. That's taxing. You're out of there, dude or girl, you're out of there. So that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about things you're not sacrificing or compromising on things because you're selfish in wanting,
grown apart.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so then fall in love again. It's like so this is saying that people change every 7 years, right? Mm-hmm. So the Kimberly that I married over 7 years ago, we've been married for 13 years, right? So Kimberly's changed twice. According to that, next year would be the second year she's changed twice.
Oh, watch out now.
Yes. but if that's true, right?
Yeah.
Then she's changed twice. That means I've had to adjust to, and I've noticed those adjustments, right? I've noticed her early in marriage and her now with her boldness, right? That's one of the things I've adjusted to, and I'm like, okay. She has identified, and honestly, maybe I never thought about it. Maybe I've changed too to be more. So she's been telling me as of late that I have this alpha male personality, right?
But he's not he's not one of those traditional arrogant egotistical alpha males.
Right,
yeah,
right. So I've never identified.
It's like a humble alpha. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And I only insert myself when I feel like no one is taking the lead in it, right? You just do this.
Not taking the lead. I must
get out of the way. Get out of the way. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it right. Get out of the way. Let me show you how to do it. Right? It's that kind of way. But anyway, and earlier in our marriage, that was nothing she said, right? So I don't know if I've changed and begin to walk in that more as we've gone. But the point I'm making is, that whole concept of, we've grown apart. It's like you're just saying that you're not willing to make adjustments at whatever stage of life you are. You got to continue. It's not like I make adjustments when we get married in year one and it's going to last us for our lifetime.
Because you're not going to be the same people. And let me tell you something. This is something we always talk about too, because our own selves, outside of a relationship, from yourself, right? We go into these jobs, whatever area you are in, on your resume. One of the most common traits that people will put is, I'm adaptable. I'm very adaptable. And you go on, you get hired, you're like, yep, that's me, I'm adaptable. And then the first sign of change at the company or wherever you are, this is the way it's supposed to be done. This is the way I've been doing it for 25 years. You are not showing no kind of adaptability, and we do the same thing in a relationship, and especially a marriage relationship, when a person has, their desires or their needs or their their needs and desires have changed over time, like Cleet said. You change after so many years. For instance, something simple as my favorite color. My favorite color since I was little has always been purple. But now it's not purple. It's no longer purple.
That's official?
I mean, it's like I still like purple, but it's not my favorite color. Like I'm a neutral person. Like I love nudes. I love the tans and the browns. I'm like in that arena right there. But yeah, so just like that, like you have to be adaptable in your marriage. And you know, in a marriage, like when you set in your vows, you know, the two become one flesh. I think that's a lot of the area of opportunity in which, like, especially like the celebrities are running into.
Still
you know,
individuals. They have
still
individuals. Accounts. This my car. This your car. You know, it's like
you're never acting as one.
You're not actively making the decision that we're one.
Right.
So it's no longer, oh, that's her car. That's my car. No, we have this. We have cars. And we can interchange it anytime we want. We share a room, of course. Hopefully you're sharing a room, right?
And some are sleeping.
Same account, right?
Yeah.
Same budgeting. And then if that's a place of conflict, then so be it. Like, you know, just work on it. That's the thing. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Somebody got an epiphany just now.
I'm just saying.
Okay,
it's like,
revelate, brother.
All I'm saying is,
I'm just messing with you.
all I'm saying is like we have to. It's not a set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Not with your kids, not with your job, not with anything you care about.
Yeah.
So with marriages, for some reason, people feel like it's a set and forget.
And it's an easy out, like, and divorce is an option.
Yeah.
Outside of the reasons I didn't say, like, you know, somebody beating up on you and like threatening to kill you.
Right?
Toxic. Like
if
outside
toxic,
of that,
you gotta work on it.
That's
and
right.
It's like just like I was mentioning about the health situation earlier. It's like you have to have goals in mind. You have to be like, okay, let's work on our marriage while we feel like it's good, and not wait till it gets so toxic, so bad, and now we're hoping that this therapist or a pastor or whoever can repair all of the damage we've already done to each other, right? So if we're constantly like, I tell Kim this all the time, and I appreciate it. She don't need to do it, but she does it. If I go, if I cook, right? If I take the trash out, or just the smallest thing, she's like, "Thank you for doing it." And I'm like, you know, and I know she doesn't have to say it, but I don't stop her from saying it because it keeps the respect, it keeps the acknowledgement in our marriage.
And not to say like, oh, like you're supposed to be doing it. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's like a choice. Like you don't have to do it. But I'm just very appreciative, babe.
Thank you, and thank you for saying that. You know, it makes me want to do it because I'm noticed, right? I'm seen, right? And that's what we want to make sure in our marriage. We want to be seen.
You're seen, babe.
You're seen.
I see you.
But anyway, that's the thing. You work on it, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, we have our tips, right? We have our things we're still working on, right? You know, we're constantly
projects in process.
Yeah. You know, we get on each other's nerves, right? We fuss, everything.
Yeah.
Right? We have moods, everything.
We're human.
Yeah, we experience everything. So we're not sitting here on a high horse by any means. All we're saying is these are things that we've learned from
we're on a medium
from
horse.
our pastor. You know what I'm saying? From our pastors. We've learned, what'd you say?
I said we're on a medium horse.
Wow. But these are things we learn from our pastors. These things we learn from our relationship, just experience. Yes. And, of course, it would behoove us not to share it with in this podcast. I mean, it's one of the topics we talk about a lot. So anyway, that's what we're seeing. You know, we're seeing with these couples. It's like they're not counting the costs. You know what I mean? From the standpoint, they're not really
count it up.
Make a sacrifice for the marriage to work, and then they're not working on it. It's like you can't ever like Kim and I. We go to conferences. Our church has events for marriage couples.
Right. Like in our annual marriage retreat, like we go every year with our church, like just to even though we have our own personal trips that we do ourselves, but just this designated trip to be with other married couples there for a week. And you
put in the work to get the tools,
right?
Because once you got the tools and you get yourself in a rough situation, you let me pull this tool out.
Exactly.
We have this thing called the
family meetings.
Family meetings that we pull out when we need to pull them out. When we in our first 3-4 years, we did it every week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we tailed off of it and we do it as needed. Another thing I was going to say is. We have a little thing between us that we do, right? So we started a few years ago going to concerts.
Oh, yes.
And that's our
because we're R&B people. Yeah. So we love, I mean, we'll go to other concerts too, but our main love is R&B. So we vibe
Yeah.
And we
like now we're starting to do comedy clubs too.
Yes.
Because this one here loves to laugh, right? So we're trying to find those things.
All the time.
Movies has always been our saving grace. Like we can go to movies every week, right?
Yes.
We talked about that last week, but those are new things, right? We're finding new things that are, like, I ain't gonna say new things, but they're more aspects, right? More nuance to our relationship that we're tapping into.
Okay, that's how you felt that nuance, boy.
Girl. Clowning. All right, so that's that.
Yes. So I just wanted to.
I know I talked a lot.
No, I just wanted to bring that up because I'm like, oh my gosh, like just from like between 2022 and then to this year, this first quarter of the year, because the first quarter is ending this week, right?
Yeah.
So it's just been like celebrity divorce after divorce after divorce. I'm like, listen, y'all, come on now.
And the tough part is a lot of these people have already established life. And then now they're trying to bring two worlds together.
Right.
One of the benefits, Kimberly and I got married young. So the couples that get married young, sometimes I ain't gonna say it's easier, but they don't come in with as much baggage. And baggage doesn't necessarily need to be negative stuff, right? It can just be, hey, I have a house here. I got this business I'm running. I got cars. You see that in Married at First Sight. Most of those people, they weren't able to find their someone. So they did this show. They're doing this opportunity, but they have a whole world established
life. Yeah.
So these celebrities, a lot of times, is the same thing. So who makes the sacrifice, right? If let's take Beyonce and Jay-Z. It's like who sacrifices, right? I'm a multi-millionaire billionaire, and I'm a multi-millionaire billionaire. So do we take, you know what I mean? Like, do we stay in your mansion, my mansion, right? So I mean, I get it. They're dealing with different issues, but it's still the same
different
level of
levels,
sacrifice.
but yeah,
different levels of sacrifice, but it's still sacrifice. You still got to go into it and saying, man, I might have to sell this mansion because I need to stay in her mansion because I want this to work, right?
And especially if there's kids involved too,
young
kids too.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level, right? Because now the kids got to try to make up their reality based off of your decisions that you made. You know, their reality was you two together. Now you're not together anymore. Now they have to navigate through that. I've had to deal with that. Kimberly had a different experience where she didn't have to deal with that. So you can see the differences that come from that.
So especially with the celebrities, like them being in the public eye as well.
Right.
So that's another level.
Another level.
But anywho, so that's why I wanted to bring that up, because just within the last 24 hours, 2 couples in the celebrity limelight got divorces. So that's all.
What we got next?
As far as like entertainment, the shows I know, a series Cleet has started watching this past week is His Dark Materials.
You want me to get into that?
Well, you can talk a little bit about it.
All right.
Just a little bit.
Let me tell you.
Because we got to tie it out. Okay.
We do.
I got to get the kids.
Okay. So that show, so anyway, I'm strong in my belief, so I'm not worried about it.
Oh, it's demonic. When
you
you start off like that, I already know where
it's very blasphemic. Okay. It's like a spinoff from the Golden Compass. Remember that movie?
Oh, with the animals.
With animals
attached to.
And they call them demons, right? It's a show spinoff of that. It's like from the whole book series. So I'm gonna summarize this up really quickly. So you have the Narnia. What is it called? Narnia.
Yeah.
What is it? What's
the Chronicles of Narnia.
Chronicles of Narnia. Thank you.
Oh, the whole.
Yeah, I was like, I knew the name. Yeah. So Chronicles of Narnia is like a children's story of Christianity, right?
It's real good.
So this author of Historic Materials and the Golden Compass, he came up with an anti-church version, right? So with these guys, oh man, they get so deep into it. They get into the concept of, the church and it being an institution that tries to prevent you from free thought, from free will, from your ability to have your own creativity and stuff like that. So they tell this story in a very colorful, graphical way, where they have animals that represents the soul of a person. They call it demons. So they even renaming, they take demonic things and they rename them to make them regular, right? So instead of calling it a soul, they call it a demon. And then they part of the show, and there's going to be a spoiler alert with this, part of the show is this girl. She's like Eve, but then she goes into the underworld and she frees the souls from there because like they are being hindered there. So she's freeing people from death. Like, oh, we shouldn't even be dying because that's not right either. So it just the whole concept of this show, it goes against like the establishment of Christian and Catholic faith.
Gotcha.
And the actors do a good job. I think the storyline, if you're looking at it from a content standpoint, it's a good show. Something good to watch. You know, I was a little annoyed with the way that they were trying to flip the script or cause people to question who are already questioning. Like, okay, church, and everyone has their qualms on church. I'm not here to talk about, hey, this is what church is and religion is. That's not what this show is about. But I will say they try to go there. They try to take it all the way there and uproot all of that stuff. So I would probably give the show probably a 7. I think, okay, from an acting standpoint and interest, just watching it purely for those purposes, it probably up there, probably 8, because it has a lot of CGI, a lot of great storytelling. But once again, I think the overall message is not rooted in anything solid, right? Because it's the whole point of it is to uproot with something that already has a foundation.
Gotcha.
So in doing that, you're not really going anywhere with it, right? You're kind of like introducing all these concepts of what if. Like, okay, well, what if the serpent was not bad? The serpent was good. And what if the hell and damnation is really not really hell, but you could make a door and everybody could walk out of it and go to a peaceful existence. Even though they decided to kill people and all that stuff when they were living, but now they get into this, they get to go be a part of the earth. And so it like I said, they went there, but they weren't taking you anywhere, right? So that part of it, I didn't like it. So
got you.
I'm done with it though. So that's
well,
won't be watching that anymore.
Yeah. I won't be watching it, but thank you for your thoughts and review on his Dark Materials. Let's see.
You gotta get our spin-off channel.
Yeah, to dive a little deeper into it.
I'm gonna start getting on my new rock star level.
Oh gosh.
I mean, because I'm after listening to those guys, I watch shows differently now.
Yeah,
we all do.
Yes.
So it's like I'm starting to see Easter eggs and stuff like that. So
Easter eggs.
I'm not sure.
It's almost Easter.
I can't touch my boy Eric Voss. He's the guy.
Oh yeah.
Okay? But
shout out Eric.
I'm gonna do. We want to do our version of it.
Yes. Let's see. We didn't watch Married at First Sight last week, so we do have to catch up on that this week because a new episode comes out. I mean, while we're shooting this right now, it comes out tonight. So we gotta get caught up on that. Let me see. Sunday I did watch Queens of R&B. That's the SWV and Escape reality show. Let me see. This past episode, they divvied out they agreed upon doing the one show. And so they divvied out the work in terms of like, okay, who's putting the song list together? Who's the creative person getting with the creative guy to like do the stage? Who's doing outfits? So they all got their roles and, it's just more drama. And also outside of the show, when they do their own shows on their YouTube channel, talking about or reviewing what's happening on the show. So yes, so that has been interesting to say the least. In terms of, I know we mentioned it last week on our podcast, but we have to binge Bel Air on Peacock season 2. We're just waiting for all the episodes to come for that one. And then Shadow and Bone on Netflix. Oh yeah. So we got to watch those. And then as far as like going to the movies, Mario comes out next week, April 5th. So, our kids have been telling us all about that. Yeah. Also, I think on April 5th is Air. That is the Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I want to see that. Viola Davis.
Movie with, Viola Davis plays his mom. So I already know that's going to be good because she always brings her game with acting.
Oh, shout out to Grownish. I forgot.
Oh yeah, I think
that on there.
Yeah,
on the docket.
On the docket because you've been watching Grownish.
Yeah, Grownish is amazing. I love Man, I love what they did with Blackish and then spinning off on Grownish, very similar to the Cosby Show, spinning off to Different World. And they had a nice cameo. And I can't remember which episode.
Oh, one you told me.
Yeah, I just told you about it. I just love when writers get it right. Okay, so Dwayne Wayne was on Different World. So in Grownish, they spun off. Like I said, the oldest daughter, she went to college, and then she had her own show, Grownish. Now the son, Junior, he's in college now, and where the season sits, I think it's in season 4, 3 or 4. And so he's in college now. The older sister, the older daughter, the oldest daughter, the oldest sister, right? She's still on the show, and she's kind of like the Whitley character, right? And her boyfriend from the previous seasons, he is kind of like Dwayne Wade.
I'm not Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade.
Wayne. What? Nah, what's his name? Now I'm messing it up. What's his name?
Dwayne.
Just Dwayne.
Dwayne.
Yeah, I was saying it wrong. Anyway, so Dwayne, so he's like that kind of character, for Grownish that they had for Different World. So anyway, he comes on the show as another professor, and
That's
y'all know,
cool.
if y'all remember, he was a professor back in Grownish. I mean, back in Different World. So now he's on Grownish as a professor, and he's like kind of mentoring and helping out the boyfriend of the sister on Grownish, right? So I just thought that was amazing. The tie-in, they know it's kind of like this 2023 version of Different World, and they got him coming back being a cameo. So I just love it. And then Blackish did a lot of that throughout obviously it ended, but it's cool to see the kids continuing the legacy. And it's a good show. I love the show. I just love how, and for me, it's like a peek into the Gen Z, how they think and how they operate compared to us millennials.
Right.
Like their whole college life, because obviously we're not in college anymore,
No.
Far from it. So, so it's just seeing what's the latest, greatest, keeping me hip, if you will. Between that and the 9-year-old team that we coach, I feel like I'm staying
keeping you hip.
Yeah.
I know, because our kids now, you capping. I'm like,
oh. When our daughter starts saying
I know. Our 6-year-old, I'm like, what y'all know about capping?
Capping? What you talking about?
What you know about capping?
Oh, man.
I'm like, girl, bye.
Oh, my capping. What
Hilarious. But anywho, that's it.
That's it?
Yes.
Seems short. Well, we got a tight hour. You're right.
Yeah, we got time. I got to get the kids. It's early release day, okay? But anywho, that's it for today, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. You didn't have to, but you did. Be sure you are following us. Subscribe to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, on YouTube, and on all major platforms. Yeah. We'll see y'all next week. Next week. We'll see you next week. Bye.